the beginning, stock cars outran the police to deliver the hooch to our ancestors. So sweet. Are you ready for a trip down victory lane, where Richard Petty's winnings were insane and Dale Earnhardt put everyone to shame? Canadian Junior Handley is in the Hall of Fame. Live from Haldeman County, it's time for the Driver in Deep podcast. Are you ready?
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us for the Driver in Deep podcast, live from Motorama. This is episode 53, once again brought to you by drivercal.com. My name is Mark, and of course, in the driver's seat beside me is none other than Alex Nagy, steering from his knees and yapping with his mouth, and also a new member of the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame. So, Nags, what's new?
Not too much. It's great to be here at Motorama for this episode, for sure, and appreciate Greg and his team for inviting us.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe what a great show this is. All the classic cars that we saw walking in, the hot rods. Wow, just something else. I know for you, that's nothing.
No, I mean, it's been 2 years, man. So, by the time people hear this, we can't ask them to come down to the show. But if you don't come this year, if you don't show up this year, make sure you put it on your calendar for next year, because you got race cars and hot rods and rat rods and tuner cars and motorcycles. There's everything here.
Don't forget about all those cool LED lights and
that turns you on.
You know me, I like that stuff.
Yeah. You got LED
something
lights
here for everybody,
seat.
right?
You got LED lights on your toilet seat.
I do, actually. So what do you want to talk about today? We got a lot of sports to go over in the intro, if you like.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we talk about racing, but we talked last week a little bit about the Raptors and things, so let's talk about that. Last night, had a chance to continue their historic run, down 3-0, and didn't get it done.
Yeah, that was something, I'll tell you. They really have a lot of heart, that team, and I think that, the Leafs should have been watching that game, because I'm a little bit worried for them coming up against either the Bruins or the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I wouldn't be worried about the Bruins so much, but I think I said to you before, I think the Leafs are in their best position in 3 years.
Really?
To be able to compete with their depth. But now they're playing Tampa, and I don't think they got enough.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look good to me. I mean, goaltending situation hasn't been great throughout the year. Maybe, if Campbell's healthy and everybody's firing on all cylinders, they got a shot.
Yeah, they've had
But if
all
they
kidding
don't,
aside, they've made a lot of history this year, and obviously the best goal scorer on the planet. But that's not everything all the time. We'll see. I guess the crappy part is for everybody's gonna, if they lose out to Tampa, if it's a good series, it's really nothing to be down about if you're a Leaf fan or a Leaf owner or a player, because it's the matchup. If you can play and compete and take them 6 or 7, but unfortunately it'll never be looked at that way.
That's true, except for the fact that it's one more year that they haven't been able to win.
They dug that hole.
Yeah.
So, like I say, it's going to be judged on this year, but this year probably doesn't have anything to do with it. But all the crap for the past 15 or whatever years it is, they've earned everything they get.
Well, I do have a question, because it all comes down to tonight, right?
Yeah.
If the Bruins can beat the Leafs and Tampa doesn't win, then the Leafs play the Bruins.
Is that how it works? Yeah. I know it's close.
Yeah. So are the Leafs going to tank tonight so they don't have to play Tampa? No? You don't think so? But if you're a betting man, would you bet on the Leafs to win tonight?
No, Boston. Right?
Yeah. Oh, shit.
So that's what we're saying. So if you're them, do you want to let Boston win tonight?
How many games have the playoffs are we now?
This is the last game.
This is the last game of the year. Yeah. So if the Leafs lose tonight, there's a chance that they could play Boston. Yeah. Tampa's Stanley Cup champion. Yeah.
It's not easy, man. Not easy.
So all we can say is good luck to the Leafs. And how about we talk about a winning team in Toronto, which is the Toronto Blue Jays. Did you see that game Alec Manoah pitched last night?
Yeah, he's a stud, that's for sure. Yeah, he's a horse, and the Blue Jays got 3 horses by the looks of it right now. If they can get Ryu to get back healthy, gives them 4 good starters, bullpen's decent, and they're not hitting yet, but I guess nobody really is.
Everybody focuses on all these young offensive players, well, defensive too, but the guys that can hit the ball out of the park. But the Jays, I think, what's going to determine their success this year is going to be their pitching. And if Manoah can pitch the way he has been, you got to think he's an early Cy Young candidate right now. And besides that, they got Kevin Gausman. I think he's got the best slider in the game.
Yeah.
And then you got Berrios, who probably has the best spin rate of any pitcher in the game. So I think those 3 pitchers, and if Ryu can get going, are really going to be what's going to determine their success this year.
Well, we got a guest coming up, but to move along, I mean, how good are the pitchers going to have to be? Because it doesn't seem like anybody can hit anything out of the park anymore.
Yeah.
Across the league.
What's that?
Across Major League. Like there's a ball. Seems like a baseball problem.
Yeah, well, that is a problem too, because I know we're into another situation of possibly a dead ball era.
Right.
And Major League Baseball, as far as I'm concerned, is being disingenuous to the players and the fans, the sponsors, because they're not saying anything about the baseballs. They're not being transparent, and it's not fair for the guys, especially, the hitters that have been practicing a certain type of swing because they know how far the ball travels. And if you're a home run hitter, guess what? You're going to be trying to hit home runs. And when you're practicing, and then you get out to the ballpark to start the season and find out that what used to go in the 20th row is a fly ball to center field or left field or right field. I don't know. I think baseball's got some work to do. And to be honest, I'm a lifelong fan, and I'm very disappointed in what I've seen so far.
Yeah, there's something going on there. We'll see what happens. Could they change ball midstream? I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm sure they can produce that stuff pretty quick.
Yeah.
If they can get nylon. Maybe they got a race tire shortage or baseball shortage too.
Yeah. You know what? How about we talk about something that we talk about on a regular basis? I just want to touch on it. Been watching the Dynamic Discs Open this weekend, and my God, is it ever windy out there. And we're talking about disc golf in case we have any new listeners that want to hear this. But I got to tell you, Kristen Tatar?
Yep.
What a round today. I think she shot -5 or -6 and by far crushed everyone in the field.
Yeah, she's taken the professional women by storm. Comes here from Estonia, spends 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time, goes back home. All these courses are the first time for her for the most part. But man, she's putting on a clinic. I think she's been on the podium for 5 or 6 straight tournaments.
Yeah. You know what? And then the men's side of things, I mean, there's probably 10, 15 guys that can win on any given week. Besides Paul Macbeth, who's a 5-time world champion, he's got people nipping on his heels now. And I think he's won 2 tournaments this year. But it's not a given that he's going to win on and that used to be the way.
Yeah.
But some of these guys now, I just mentioned Paul Macbeth. He just signed a $10 million sponsorship deal last year.
Yep.
And, and there's a lot of guys following him. Eagle McMahon, Simon Lizotte, all these. And now it's their full-time professional career.
And a fairly young Canadian, Thomas Gilbert. He's leading the tournament this weekend while we're recording this after 2 rounds. And kid from Toronto that is, he's an up-and-comer.
Yeah.
Throw that thing.
Yeah, we don't want to forget him for sure. And you know what? I'm looking forward to getting out and watching these guys play live. But, we probably talked a little bit enough about disc golf now. But I will tell you, if you haven't had an opportunity to go out there, it's a free sport in most places to go. You can get discs either really inexpensively or sometimes free. So yeah. I tell you should go out and try it if you haven't. We've both been playing for about a year now. And it's a great day out, and some of these courses are just remarkable. Christie Lake in particular, just outside of Hamilton. So.
And it's cheap, good exercise. It's good family fun.
And some other sporting news today, and this one really saddens me, Alex. Borris Becker.
Yeah.
Borris Becker just got sentenced to, 2.5 years in jail?
2.5 years.
I mean, I remember when I was a kid, tennis was my sport, and I know that doesn't surprise you, and you already knew that. I watched Borris Becker win Wimbledon when he was like 16 or 17 years old. It was incredible.
Yeah, filed for bankruptcy apparently, and
what's that?
Filed for bankruptcy apparently, and got caught hiding assets or something. I don't know.
Blew through $60 million.
Crazy.
I mean, all I can say is it's a sad day for tennis, and for him, obviously. He's going to be away for a little while. So, and also some other news here. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know now that Elon Musk owns Twitter. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, a couple bucks he spent, wasn't it?
Like, what was it, 45
billion or something? Yeah,
45 billion, just pocket change, I guess, for guys like that. But the reason I bring that up, because you know Steve O'Donnell, the NASCAR chief operating officer, he hinted about exploring an exhibition series with electric cars in the near future. And that didn't go over too well with fans.
No.
And you can imagine why. You know, they're afraid that the sport's changing to something that maybe they don't want. But there could be a good tie-in here, and who knows with Elon Musk what he's going to do, because NASCAR, with their new next-gen car this year, you know, they're trying to reset, and it's sort of like a new future for them. And obviously now Twitter, it's the same thing, because Elon Musk wants to take away censorship, which I don't disagree with. But because he also owns the #1 electric car company in the world in Tesla, there's several NASCAR racers that have commented on Twitter recently, and some of them are pretty funny, I have to say. One of the tweets was, hey, Elon, can you get NASCAR to get rid of the stages now? Like, they're already talking like he's part of the sport, but you never know with this guy, whether it could be good or bad. But one thing for sure, if he decides to get involved, and this is all speculative, but if he does decide to get involved, it's going to get attention, whether it's good or bad, and you know, that's probably not a bad thing.
Absolutely. Well, later in a little bit here, we have JP coming on here from Peterborough Speedway and Gary Colling from Flamboro. We'll have to ask them about electric cars and what they think.
So is JP ready to come on up?
I think he is.
Here we go. Let's give him a mic. Come on up here. Here we go. It's on. There we go. All right, you want to just clip that on there?
Anywhere?
Yeah, that should be good. There's a sound. Oh, look at that.
Oh, we actually had
you got
one?
a name tag. Yeah, you got your name on the table now.
Mark, I want you to pronounce that.
JP from Peterborough Speedway, welcome to Driver Indeed. I don't know how to pronounce that. You go for it.
Well, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I hope you do. That's your name.
Greg knows how to spell it.
Greg knows how to spell it. That's all that matters. Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard JP, but we were talking about Steve O'Donnell from NASCAR, talking about possible exhibition races with cup cars down the road, with electric cars, and Elon Musk making noise in the headlines these days. What do you think? How long before Peterborough Speedway has an electric car race?
It's got to be at least like 2025, I'm going to guess.
It's not that far away, is it?
No, a couple of years probably. Yeah.
So for those that don't know on the show,
with Duracell's coming on board next year.
There you go. See, it's all starting.
Yeah.
JP has what I think is the fastest third-mile racetrack that I know of in the country at Peterborough, just outside of Peterborough. Great speedway, ton of history. And I was talking to, who was that today? Maybe the colorblind flagman, Sean Gibbs. We were talking about...
Yeah, well, we say that affectionately.
It's a true story.
Yeah, we say that affectionately.
Yeah, it's not a lie. And
he probably heard you.
Yeah, probably. It's when did you get Peterborough Speedway? Was it 99?
I bought it in December of 99. So
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then we announced it at the All-Star meeting.
Oh, right.
I don't know if it was in December or in January.
And of course, you got it from Kim Wallace, who had it before you, and Kim had the track. He had it for a while too, didn't he?
87.
12, yeah,
87.
12 years or something. So, so the Speedway was built when?
67 was its opening year.
Tons of history there, lots of races. I've been fortunate to race a bunch there. I think it was the colorblind flagman too, said, well, did you ever win at Peterborough? I said, well, JP's not going to know because he didn't own it then. But yes, I did. I won the cash car race and Kim had it. Might have been the last cash car race we had there.
I might vaguely remember you driving the other way around the track one night.
That might have happened.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
An AC Delco car.
Was that post-race?
It was post-race or during race? Something might have happened that night.
Well, if it wasn't turning left, I'm not sure how he would have accomplished it.
He might have wanted to go and say hi to somebody else. I'm not sure.
You know what? It happens at Peterborough Speedway. I've seen that before, definitely. But no, we wanted to get you on here, JP. Talk about your season hasn't started yet. I know you're ramping up. What do you got cooking this year, man? I know it's going to be finally the first time in 2 years since there's been really, right now, touch wood, no restrictions. I know your car count's been healthy. A lot of great things going on. I know for a fact, because we talk often, that you've been working on a whole bunch of improvements. So what do you got going on this year? I know you've got a new event back.
Yes.
That you haven't had for a few years. So talk about what you got going on, regular racing, your special events, and then I want you to tell us what you've been doing at the Speedway. I know it's been a lot of work.
So obviously we're back to a full season, no capacity limits, and hopefully no COVID screening. So May long weekend, we're going to kick the season back off. And as we were doing before COVID hit, free admission opening night.
Nice.
Wow, that's great.
And fan appreciation. Tuning nights are back 3 times this year. They're double tuning nights. So
tell, for those that don't know, those nights are a hit for you. I know for a fact I've been there. What is a tuning night?
Well, $4 will get you grandstand admission in. And
anybody, adults, don't matter. That's the max you can pay.
That's the max you're going to pay. Kids under 8 are free, so kids aren't paying. And we do fan appreciation at intermission. We normally start an hour earlier. We normally fire off about 5 o'clock. And fan appreciation intermission takes about an hour. It takes us about that long to get the people on the track, and then we start telling them to get back off the track. Fans.
Yeah, that's the worst, getting them off. Yeah.
Kids can go out there and drivers love it. Like just candies.
I got a way to help you with that.
Okay.
We'll talk after.
Okay.
But ultimately,
tell our listeners.
It's actually, I came across this at GP3R in Quebec, big NASCAR event up there that I'd been part of, and I didn't come up with it. They did, but what happens is they get a rope, and they get like 4 or 5 people on each end, and a bunch of people in the middle, and they just start to walk.
Okay.
And every fan turns around and just herd them off just like cattle. And everybody leaves, man. It's the best. And it's, at that place we have like 15,000 people. You've been there, Greg. Greg from Motorama, he's right here at GP3R trying to get the fans off the racetrack after an autograph session. Big long rope, and just keep herding them.
Really?
And
it works.
Cleans it up quick.
Wow.
Yeah, Santa Stash as well.
So the cars just go over.
So yeah, I mean, you just flip over because they're all parked. That's what the other 2 people in the middle just like flipping them up over the roof.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, that's guaranteed clean.
So fire truck with the water hose.
That'll work too. Okay. They just get a little pissy.
So that and run right through till Labor Day. And a big mix of everything from legends to TQs to Oscar hot rods, Oscar modifieds, big variety, along with all our normal divisions. Our regular divisions, once again, going to be the bone stocks, mini stocks, super stocks, Renegade trucks, which is sort of unique to our speedway. Late models this year, we've sort of combined the limited lates and the pro lates in the rule package. And legend cars, always, they're here 8 times this season. Finish the year off, autumn colors. This year's the 29th running. We should be at the 30th, but we skipped one,
right.
So we have to do a reset. So in that event, we added a few firsts last year. We did Thursday night parking day and tech day. We got some live music, and we did a barbecue in the pits. Just add a little more atmosphere. Got sponsors on board for that again, so we're just adding that to the mix again. The one race that we talked about earlier, APC, is back this year, June the 18th, along with the Quick Super Stock.
Yeah, you got a double header that
night.
That's a great night.
So it's going to be Quick obviously was here last year in August.
Yeah,
phenomenal race.
Great race.
Despite the weather, put us on a bit of a behind. But at the end of the day, it was a great race, good field of cars, and I think that coupled with the APC race this year, it's going to be a great event. Just looking forward to all of it, just getting back to a bit of a normal trend of racing.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's been we're sitting almost at 2.5, 3 years since we had a normal season.
Yeah.
Well, March 2020, we were right here in this very building.
Getting kicked out.
And talking about rope and herding people. Greg and his people started herding us out. He said, get out. I think it was Saturday, right?
Yeah, on
and
Saturday.
that was the beginning of COVID, man. I think it was the Friday night they shut down the NBA while we were here.
Yep.
And everybody started, it was crazy. We're
Yeah.
looking at each other,
Yeah.
no people were coming through hardly, and everybody's afraid to come near you. And
Yeah, we
2
were
years
talking,
later, it's the same.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to come near you still.
No, and we were talking about that. It was like it went from on the Thursday coming down, everybody's going to get this horrible flu and get really
Yeah.
sick, to
Are they
by
gonna,
Friday night, Saturday morning, I think we might all die. And, it's just,
Yeah,
who knew, like 2 years later,
crazy.
we're at this point.
Well, hopefully we're beyond the tough part of it. Obviously we're still learning to live with it now. But I can tell you one thing, that the excitement for racing this year is unbelievable. From all the people that we talk to, they all can't wait to get out to the track. So hopefully everyone can take advantage of that this year. And there's an opportunity sort of to move this forward again in Ontario.
Yeah, and the nice thing with last year that I found is when we went to the online ticketing, and when we actually did get to open up on July the 10th last year, so many new people that had never been to the Speedway.
That's great.
Because I was helping at the front gate because we're a little short-staffed.
Let's be honest, you're Dutch and you didn't want to pay enough.
That's probably too.
People,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. But a little short-staffed. And but so many people coming up and say, hey, it's their first time here. Where do you go? Where's this? Where's that?
That's perfect.
And
hopefully they had a great time and they're going to come back, right?
They did, and I think, and hence, like, this year we're back to you can buy tickets and walk up, but we've kept our online platform. It's going to be, I think everything will be live within the week. You can buy all the tickets for the whole summer.
Perfect.
Looking at doing reserved seating at the Autumn Colors, looking at if we can implement it on the platform, looking to at the top 5 or 6 rows are reserved seating, a little surcharge, but then you have your seat for the Autumn Colors there, and I think that's...
Yeah, so, I mean, I think no matter what business you're in, it's being talked about, the negativity or the negatives with COVID and that whole pandemic thing, but, there's always a positive from a negative, right? And the ticketing thing and how you do business, I think, is going to just make us a lot more efficient as a group moving forward. So it's crazy how things, are so bad, yet there's some good to be taken out of it for sure.
Because even when you're in inclement weather and you've sold tickets all week, it's like, well, remember we sat there and looked at the numbers the night we were sitting in the rain delay, and then looked at it, and I'm like, I said, we're going to hold on.
Yeah, I think it was something like, we're good, Alex, let's go. But yeah, no, it's just good. So before we get you off here quickly, so where can people find information out about Peterborough Speedway?
Website, peterboroughspeedway.com.
Tickets are on there?
Tickets, the link is on there. It'll be live within the week again here. Schedule, there'll be an interactive schedule once the tickets go live. Right now you can download our schedule off the website. Social media, Facebook, we try to, a lot of updates, keep that rolling.
And I said at the start, and I want to just touch on it because I know you've done a lot of work at the Speedway. Just what are some of the things you started working on late last year? I know we talked about your ticket booth and different things. So what have you been working on? I know you haven't been standing still, sitting on your hands. What have you been working on at the Speedway?
Ticket booth was not completed last year. It'll be all up, should be all up and done by opening night. Actually adding ice cream shop.
And cotton candy.
Yeah, we got cotton candy now.
See?
Yeah.
It's all the good things I remember.
How did you know that, Alex? Were you taste tester to make sure? Is it?
Yeah, JP said, listen, I have ice cream and cotton candy. I need somebody to taste it. Yeah. It's only a 3-hour drive. I'll see you.
Yeah.
And plans, I don't know if it'll be done what time this year. Tech Lane, we're going to remove the tire truck over, rearranging that, and we're putting in a double Tech Lane, two sets of scales, so when there's a traveling series or we have busy
cars.
nights,
Yeah.
we can,
So loop around still and just come out and double up on the way off.
Double up and
Nice.
Just to put, some more volume through there. And also the Blueprints working hard on the beer garden. And
It's important.
hopefully we're hoping to have that up and running before the APC race.
Nice. Nice. That'd be great. Fans, it's not like going to a bar, but people just enjoy to watch their sport and have a drink if they choose. So, yeah, great stuff. Listen, we appreciate you coming on short notice. You've been on our list. Today was perfect opportunity because we kind of got you captured here. So Thank you very much. Look forward to coming to visit you this summer.
No, same here. Great
Best
to have
of
you
luck
on the
to you
show,
this
and
year.
love to chat some more somewhere along the way. And
We'll do it.
so
Thank you, JP.
I'll just keep going so Flamboro has no time on here.
Yeah? Well, you don't want to get Gary mad.
I have never seen Gary mad yet.
Yeah, well, I had a story for you, but we'll talk about that at the beer garden.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, got our mic here.
Okay, we're just doing a quick switch. We got Gary Colling coming up. I'm not even going to tell you his title because he's got a new title. Oh, I'm sorry, you're getting your sign? Yeah, so we're like I said, we're here at Motorama, the Canada's best indoor car show, racing show. We're fortunate to be part of it, and Gary Colling was worried about his sign, so his fans out here can see him. So he even folded his own sign, believe it or not.
Perfect.
Hi,
There we
Gary. Thanks for joining us. So,
Well,
So
you're going to
here-
throw me under the bus again like the last time you did on this show a few months ago?
Did he throw you under the bus?
Oh, yeah, he threw me under the bus because my nephew works for the 11 team.
oh, the switcher.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, use your switchers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no matter where Scotty works, your nephew, one day you're a Martin Truex fan. The next year, now you're a Denny Hamlin fan. You don't even like Denny Hamlin, but you're his fan because your nephew works there.
Well, I really just am a fan of my nephew.
Well, you should say that instead of going online. You
I don't
and Jody
go online
and,
about
you know,
it. Just because you
Googling
and my
all
wife
over
have
Denny.
been together forever.
Well, we
It's
have been
like-
together longer than I've been longer with your wife than you have been with me.
Well, true enough. True enough.
But
Do you want her back? No.
she's never left, buddy.
Goodness.
Okay,
Well,
serious
anyways,
stuff.
let's get serious.
So, Flamboro Speedway, we've talked about it on this podcast. If you would listen, you would know this. We talked about the 50th year of ownership with the Caselli family at Flamboro Speedway. The Speedway now is 62 or 66 years old now. How old is it?
Yeah, it was built in 61, I think.
Right.
62.
So, but the Caselli family has owned it for 50 years, which is
50
crazy
years.
to think about. It's incredible. Yeah, longer than I've been alive. Maybe.
I call BS.
So, Gary, we've been at Motorama before, and Greg and the team, 3 years ago now, I guess, had us on a stage, a racetrack operator stage, and we talked about some stories that would make our insurance men cringe. Mm-hmm. But we probably won't get into those today because now you got a more important role. So I didn't announce you with your new title, but tell everybody there's been a lot of changes with the structure, if you will, the staffing and how you're going to operate a little bit this year at Flamboro Speedway. Not that it was bad before, but sometimes change is needed and things happened. Doug Leonard had left, of course, with no hard feelings. Just,
Nope, none
and
whatsoever.
who knows, might be back. But just tell us about the changes at Flamboro Speedway for 2022.
Well, coming into 2022, I had a deep conversation with Doug Leonard, who he has said that he was not going to come back, and kind of a private conversation with me.
And for those that don't know, Doug Leonard was the race director.
Race director at Flamboro Speedway, and he basically ran the show with myself, and I was more the announcer. He was the race director, and we kind of switched with just kind of ran the day stuff. It came to a point where Doug was, and again, no hard feelings, and
No.
Doug is still working behind the scenes with us and helping us out, and I talk to him daily, kind of like I kind of reach out to you whenever I can, to help us, to motivate us, to keep us going in the right direction. So the opportunity came where it was probably easier to find a race director or an announcer, because that's what I used to do, as it would be to find a race director. So when it all started to flow down, it became, I was going to be the race director, we'll get an announcer in, and then we'll go from there and see what happens. Well, I'm kind of affiliated with a lot of people, and I was afraid of the favoritism or, kind of that remark. Perceived.
There would have been none.
Yes.
I know you better than that, but yes.
So I figured in my own mind that it was probably better for me to step out of that role as much as I could. So then we found another race director in Tim Norris,
Yep.
who runs the Pro Challenge. So when Tim is racing Pro Challenge and gone away to Barney for 2 nights, I'll do the race directing for that.
Okay, so
and when
that-
they're at Flamboro,
I wondered how
I'll
that
jump
dynamic
in,
was gonna work.
Jump
Okay.
in. So I have now general manager of motorsports at Flamboro Speedway is what I've jumped into. What does it mean? I don't know.
You wear every hat there is.
It's a lot of work, and I've reached out.
I can tell you if you want, buddy.
Well, I know, and that's why. And Alex, we do go back a long way, but I've said it from the beginning. I said you're always the guy that I've kind of looked up to, right?
Yeah,
so you and there's a few of them out there, Clinton, Jeffries, and those guys, kind of looking up to them. So then I get the point. And I can talk to you guys and say, hey, what do I need to do? And you give me good advice. You know, JP, the same thing, right? You guys have been doing it for so long that I've been in racing, but I haven't been in this kind of a role, and it's new. And it's going to be some learning curves and whatever,
Absolutely.
and we're going to try our best. But the idea is to make Flamboro good. I don't know, just try and bring it back to life. And like you said, 50 years for the Caselli family, that's amazing. We researched it, and kind of the research I've done, they are the second longest family-owned racetrack in North America.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, Stafford's way up there in Connecticut, but I can't remember.
I think India's 100 years with the home and family, and then we would have fallen right close to that because it was Eldora, and then it sold.
Yep.
Right, and then we jumped into 50. So the Eldora was normally the second longest one or something. It's something
It's a long time,
in it.
it don't matter. It's a long time.
just insane, right? Like you know, you know John Caselli as well as I do, and he's always, Murray, why do I do this, right? But I got the work down, right? I got it down. But he loves it. He loves the cars.
Absolutely,
He
he
loves
does.
the
That's why he
people,
wakes
and-
up in the morning. We all know that. And
so it's going to be, we're trying. We're going to.
yeah. Well, you're going to be fine. Like you said, you know, if you call me, whatever it is, I always tell you, I usually go to sleep by 1 in the morning. So if you can get a call in before that, we're better, right?
Yeah.
And,
But if I call you at 1:05, that's all right?
Probably.
Okay.
But you know we've got your back. I say we, the whole group of people you mentioned. If you need me to come there, you know I'm going to come there. At the same time, you know, I'm going to reverse this, put this on you because big events at Josiasse, you stopped in and come up to the tower and said, what do you need me to do? And it wouldn't have mattered, Gary, if I asked you to clean toilets, you would have did it. So it's a two-way street, buddy. Appreciate it, and that's how we operate in this sport. So that's the difference in some staffing. Tell us the cool stuff you got going on at Flamboro this year.
Well,
And tell the fans.
I forgot to mention one other guy that's new in there. Our new race director, our new tech director.
Yes.
Kelly
Talk
Howlett
about Kelly.
is now in. Glenn Hills has kind of stepped aside. He wants to be more time with Jillian Hills. So Kelly Howlett. So we've updated a fair amount of our crew, and we've hired a few people for the pits that are new, and it's going to be great. I think
Can never
it's
have
gonna be
enough
amazing.
good people, and Kelly's a well-respected guy, knows his stuff. Of course, you know, applying it as a staff member as opposed to a crew member is a bit different, but he's dabbled in it. And he's worked out this weekend some, and he's worked with you guys last year a bit. So, yeah, definitely just another one of the great additions for you guys for sure.
Assets for sure. Yeah, another bullet in our pocket, if we can say
Yeah.
that. But the events at Flamboro are coming. It's our 50th year, so our plan is to kind of not shake it up as much as we used to. Not do the double features. We'll do them, but you know, on Memorial Night we'll probably do some heat races and get back to the old school and let people get into Victory Lane and have some fun. The big event that we have going on at our track is in September.
Yep.
And
Tell everybody about it.
the Pot of Gold 300.
And so it's a 300-lap
It's
race.
300
And
laps.
it's a pot of gold because of what's at the end.
It's
and what type of
definitely-
cars is it?
Okay, so it's enduro cars. So any enduro car, so pure stock and under, will probably fit the rule. Pure stocks for sure. And it's 300 laps, so it'll be 250 as kind of the qualifier. Top 50 cars out of that are going to be pulled out, and we'll give them 15 minutes to do any kind of maintenance that they need to do. And then we're going to do, and if they don't show up within 15 minutes, they rescind their spot and start at the back.
Right.
And we will go 50 laps, 50 cars, $50,000 to win.
Wow.
50 G's.
Big money.
So we have actually had personal emails or phone calls from the U.S. Around the 27 people have called. That's why I need to reach out to you to figure out how to get cars across the border. We're expecting, we wouldn't be hesitant to say there'll be over 200 cars, and we're going to start them all.
Perfect. And you need that support. And you should get that support with that type of a purse.
Yeah.
And, you know, putting a lot on the line for those folks, and not that you do it for them to owe you anything, but people need to support that event for sure.
I think it's going to be amazing. I've got my first couple registrations for it in the last couple weeks, which is good. So that it can all be found online at flamborospeedway.ca. You can find out where to send it. You go to Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
When somebody just posts something on some random page on Facebook asking how much it is to get in the pits at Flamboro Speedway, they should go to your website? Is that what you're saying?
You should probably go to the website. Yeah, to flamborospeedway.ca. That's amazing how that works. And because all the information is there, right? It is there.
It's a lot easier to ask if you just put it out into nowhere, though.
Yeah.
On nothing.
Yeah.
That means anything.
It means, But, the other, we do. That's an inside joke. He's on the outside. Mark's on the outside.
Mark knows.
Yeah.
He's seen some of the posts that I've seen or we've had at Josiasse.
But it's we do have the two APC races coming to Flamboro. They're going to be amazing. We got I believe the TQ Midgets are with one of them, maybe the second one also. I believe they're both on, TQ Midgets on the one and TQ Midgets and Mini Stocks on the other one.
Gary, that's the Peterborough Speedway schedule you're looking at. JP left that here.
I got that schedule here.
Oh,
you can
just making sure you're reading the right one.
You can pick it. Yeah, that's our schedule. Yeah.
JP left it here for you.
Yeah, JP.
He just read off all your events.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Your
events at
schedule.
Peterborough.
Yeah.
As I'm reading the Flamboro Speedway one. But we got the Grisdale Triple Crown. You've been around for those. Those are three 100-lap races. Grisdale's been a huge supporter of Flamboro Speedway. Bill Grisdale and Adam, and last year we were having issues with our scales. We couldn't find cords for them. You know what the Grisdale family did?
Sent a set over.
They sent a brand new set over and said, "This is a gift from us from Grisdale's. We greatly appreciate it." It's amazing what has transpired, and it's really cool. And
if they could only send tires over now.
Yeah, if we could only get tires somewhere, that's another whole other ball of wax.
Yeah, let's see what happens before we.
And our opening night's tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Right. So we start tomorrow night.
So you said about going to flamborospeedway.ca for your schedule and stuff, but so typically, what nights does Flamboro Speedway race? So people that are listening, make it easy for them.
We race every Saturday night, starting tomorrow night, all the way through till October.
Perfect.
And our racing starts at 6:30. We don't delay that. Doug Leonard instilled that in us. If it's 6:05 or 6:35, he used to get upset and he'd be mad because we're 5 minutes late. So our racing starts at 6:30, and we try and put on the best show on the quick, say a quick show, because sitting on a 2x4 or 2x8 in the grandstands gets a little tiring after, and you can only eat so many hamburgers. And I've seen you eat hamburgers.
We call them Flamburgers.
Flamburgers, that's right.
What? I had a guy call me from the U.S. and say, "Does Flamburgers still exist?" And I said, "Yes." He goes, "Can I come and have one?" And I go, "You're more than welcome." And he's raced all over the place. He says our burgers are the best.
I will agree. They're great.
It's hard to beat them, buddy.
Yeah.
There's a guy. Listen, ask Mark. He's been to 2 racetracks in his life.
2 racetracks,
and yours is the best.
He went to your track. And
you never had time to eat.
You
worked for me. There's no eating. You worked.
Yeah, they didn't.
I know. I've been there.
You went to Delaware. You went to Flamboro. Right.
I worked for you.
Yeah, you volunteered.
I was voluntold.
Alex, you're forgetting a track.
What's that?
You're forgetting a track. Niagara Speedway.
Oh, Niagara International Go-Kart Speedway.
Wow.
Hey, track. He owns that.
I'm just saying, I won a race last year, and I didn't get invited to the champions.
Yeah, he was going to talk to you, Mr. McPherson.
Night of Champions.
Mark races one race in his career,
and
Niagara Speedway at the go-kart track
last year.
Clifton Hill.
Yeah.
Wins.
Yeah.
And he looked for the invite for the
Night of Champions.
Fast Eddie Night of,
I didn't get an invite.
Fast Eddie Night of Champions this year, right?
Here's what I can do.
Yeah.
And Mark's bummed.
Alex.
And also, I do have another bone to pick with Greg. He didn't ask Three Fog to play here. We would have been more than willing.
Yeah, no, he's smarter than
that.
Hey, I got an opportunity for Mark. Here's what Mark can do. Owen can't make it tomorrow.
Okay.
And he's getting 2 championships from 2020 to 2021.
Okay.
So you can go up and accept them, and at least then he gets on stage.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a go-kart. My son won go-kart.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's great, but
I don't know if the shirt will fit him, but
no, probably not.
It'd more be a belly.
Well, Gary, got to get you out of here. We're gonna wrap up here. Looking forward to this season. Flamboro Speedway every Saturday night. Peterborough Speedway is every Saturday night. You see Sabal Speedway over here. They're every Saturday night starting June 10th or so. Full Throttle Motor Speedways over here. Didn't get a chance to get them up on stage, but they race Saturday nights as well. And of course, you know, all over Ontario, Sunset Speedway, Oswego Speedway, Merrittville Speedway. All the tracks are open, pavement, dirt, road courses, whatever. We're fortunate. So thank you very much. And Mark, before we wrap up, you know, like I said, it's going to be too late by the time you hear this to get to Motorama. If you're not here this weekend, you've missed a lot.
Yeah.
And of course, next year it'll be back in March, I'm guessing, Greg.
Yeah, regular date.
And I'm telling you, folks, Motorama is the place to be. Best indoor car show in the country. Watch for it next year in the calendar, next March, if you missed this one.
Yeah.
And also want to give a shout out to another company involved, which is Inside Track Motorsports News. If you can go online and do it digitally, read all their stuff. They have coverage all across this country and the U.S. And you can subscribe and get a subscription, actually, still a magazine still. It's full color. It's an awesome magazine, good reading. So there's lots of opportunity for you to stay up on motorsports in our country through Inside Track, getting out to Motorama and getting to all these speedways.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank Motorama and Inside Track for having us here. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. Great opportunity for us to meet a lot of people who all have the same interests in mind. And Gary, thanks very much for being here. Best of luck to you this year in your season, and let's hope we have some great weather to go with it.
Well, thank you very much, too.
So next time we have Gary on, we'll have to ask him about the trunk ride.